Chevrolet, America's second most popular car brand, the makers of the first ever SUV, the company responsible for some of the most iconic automobiles in the past century, some of which include the Chevy Corvette, the Camaro, the Tahoe, and the Silverado, just to name a few. And then they made this. That's right, this is the 2020 Chevy Spark, and it is currently the cheapest car you can buy, starting at $13,400 brand new with standard features, which we'll get to in just a second. Chevy introduced the Spark to the United States market a few years back at a very affordable price tag. It is actually currently the third smallest car you can buy in the US, behind the Fiat 500, and without having to sell your soul and get a smart car. So I'm going to briefly show you the inside of this thing, take it for a drive, and let you know if you should buy this car. As we walk around the Spark, you'll immediately notice just how small it is, from its 15-inch aluminum wheels to its tiny 143.1 inches in length and just 58.76 inches in height. To put that into perspective, the new Ford F-150s are around 240 inches long, which means that a standard pickup truck is about 8 feet longer than a Chevy Spark. As you step inside, you can feel even more just how tiny this car is, especially with its 48.2 inches of hip room. Now, with a headroom and legroom space of 39 inches and 41.7 inches, those numbers are surprisingly pretty comparable to other cars in this car class, such as the Ford Fiesta and the Hyundai Accent. Now, despite its size, you surprisingly do get some decent features considering the very low entry point. For example, you'll see here we've got a 7-inch diagonal color touchscreen, which has Apple and Android CarPlay, which is very easy to operate if you've ever been inside of a Chevy. Here you've got your basic climate controls that you control with these very simple dials. Below the climate control is actually a USB-C, which most newer cars don't even have. You do get a standard backup camera in the Spark as well. Over on the dashboard, you get a very limited set of buttons and controls. This button on the turn signal is actually where you scroll through the different menu options that you can have display in front of you while you drive, such as miles till empty and oil life, for example. And to the left, you've got your basic lighting controls. Down here, you've got your gas tank button and hood release button. Nothing too crazy. Simple enough. As you see, there's not much room back there for other passengers. As a matter of fact, there's only 33 inches of leg room. Now, there's not much to this car, so I guess all that's left to do is just take this thing for a drive and see what you get for 14 grand. So I wouldn't say this is the worst handling car, but it definitely ain't great. There's a ton of body roll, which you can expect. It's also a bit weird driving a car this small. It almost seems unsafe in a way. Especially since it only weighs 2,300 pounds, which is just ridiculous. And just for the fun of it, let's just do a 0 to 60 test and see what we get. Alright, so this is your shining moment, Spark. Let's see what you got. Alright, so the 0 to 60 time is eventually. No, it is clearly a slower car. And the official 0 to 60 time is just over 11 seconds. This car puts out a whopping 98 horsepower and 94 foot-pounds of torque, which might explain why you get 30 miles per gallon in the city and about 38 on the highway. So who is this car for? The 2020 Chevy Spark is for someone who wants to buy the cheapest brand new car possible, wants to save money on gas, and maybe lives in a smaller city where parking bigger cars is a challenge. You could probably fit 2 of these things in a parking spot. This car is definitely not for everyone, but Chevy did manage to sell 31,000 of these things in 2019, believe it or not. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I know this was really short and brief, but I hope you found this entertaining and informative. So Please stay tuned. I'll be uploading a new video this week of a car that I've been requested to do by a viewer, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that. It's free, you know? Who cares? But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and comment down below what kind of car you want to see next. Stay safe out there, and have a great day, everyone.